Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. It's your boy Dave from Bali. Let's get into it. Clayton Echard says he had powerful reunion with Rachel Recchia. There was so much healing. Was there more than just healing? Clayton, was there sexual healing? We're going to get into this story right now. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. If you want to see my resort, I'm going to be posting on Patreon later today, patreon.com/Dave Neal, a full suite tour. I didn't realize they knew it was our honeymoon. They did a deep dive on us. Every single person we've talked to who's working at this resort has been, hey, hello, Mr. Dave. Hello, Miss Tasha. They gave us cakes and flowers. It's been so kind. They have just been so incredible over here. I'm going to share that with you guys on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. All right, but let's talk about Clayton here and see what he has to say. Rather than read the interview, let's have a listen.
But of course, like after what all I thoughts of each other, but of course, like after what all happened, it's like, how would you ever go about dating again after all of what occurred? Rachel and I met up after like not talking to each other for an entire year. And there was so much healing there. That conversation was so powerful. I walked away from that experience and I just remember thinking like, man, like this just felt so rewarding. And I'm just so happy to know that even someone like her, after everything that happened, everyone that was mad at me, nobody could be more mad at me than her. And so for her to forgive me, that was probably one of the best things I could have heard, because it made me realize, like, if she can forgive me, that's the one person or two people that would have, like, they don't have any reason to, but if she can, then everything that I've done is forgivable, and I can grow from this, and I can allow myself to forgive myself.
2023, the year of Clayton Echard's resurgence. I mean, he's got his new book out. As you guys heard yesterday on Bachelor Rush Hour, the podcast, I interviewed Clayton and we talked a bunch about that. And of course, now he rekindles, at least with a friendship, with Rachel Recchia. I'm sure after Rachel experiences her season of The Bachelorette, she understands it's an untenable position to be in and probably empathizes with Clayton even more.
And what was so crazy is the internet was so quick to like ship you guys to be getting back together. I was like, everyone relax. I'm sure there's other people in the room, first of all. Second of all, like they made a video. Like I'm glad they let us, know they were all together. It's great. But also like they're probably, if I was assuming you guys weren't even going to talk about anything. And it was like a let's be friends or like let's get through this day. But instead you were actually just had this nice conversation, made amends, had forgiveness. But like everyone like went to these crazy conclusions that you guys were going to start dating again.
Yeah, it just goes to show, I mean, people, well, here's the thing, okay? They see me, they get to know me, then they see her. She has her own season with Gabby. And
that's the photo where I thought that she was going to be the winner. When they were hugging each other on the dock, I was like, oh man, their chemistry was electric.
And so people get to know you to a degree, right, and they go, I like this person, I like this person, I want this to work. And I think in a way too, people that get so invested in the show, they experience, well, I know that people experience a little bit of trauma as they watch it because it reminds them of their past. And that's why you see all this emotion online. So I think part of the healing process for some people, they go, well, to make this all make sense, it would be really great to see these two get back together, and then we can all be happy, right? But the reality is like, I mean, and her and I both talked about it. We said, we have very high thoughts of each other, but of course, like after what all happened, it's like, how would you ever go about dating again after all of what occurred, right? And she doesn't have any interest in doing so, and I got that, and I also was, on my end, I'm like, you know what? After everything we went through, like being friends sounds very pleasant, and let's just keep it at that, because there was so much that went on. I sometimes feel like it's just better if you just start from a clean slate.
Listen, I don't disagree with Clayton there, that it's a little bit easier to start from a clean slate, because the last thing you want is to be in a fight with Rachel and be like, oh, what are you going to do? Tell 3 other women you love them? That type of thing. Not that Rachel would do that, but we all have a lot of arrows we sling at the opposition when it comes down to winning a fight. But to answer Clayton's question, how could we ever make it work? Well, get some chocolates, go on a date, have a bottle of red wine, and just let you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean, Clayton? clearly had sexual chemistry. They said they loved each other, right? Then she saw how, what I love the most about Rachel's season is that when the guys weren't giving her the attention she wanted, she said, even Clayton treated me better than you guys. And I was thinking, oh, maybe she's realizing the grass is a little greener on the other side. But of course, the practical side of me agrees with Clayton. Like, it's probably easier if we just move on to new people. And speaking of new people, it's a whole new season. And I'm going to share with you guys some clips of what Ariel said on Bachelor Nation's podcast here, because I don't think this is worth its own video. But let's have a listen to the award-winning video journalism by Becca Kufrin here.
Without giving too much away, can you tease just a little bit of what's to come in the coming weeks?
I think there's going to be so much humor. There's going to be so many laughs. There's going to be so many like funny and amazing experiences. And like Zach and I just had such a great way of like laughing at each other, poking fun, like even the Jersey comment. Oops. So I feel like it was very important for me to be with someone that just knows how to like laugh through life with me. That's what I learned from my parents. So it's going to be a season full of humor, full of laughs, full of, honestly, the women were also so funny. So I feel like all of them had such like unique personalities, and we're just like, we're all kind of like stand-up comics in our own ways and had our own vision of humor. So there'll be a lot of that.
I love that. I do love this season for the friendships we're seeing. It does seem like, for the most part, all of you get along so well. You're so supportive of each other, which...
Except Brooklyn and Katie. I'm sorry, except for Brooklyn and Kat.
We have not seen in really any season in this capacity, which is so incredible. Who were you really, really close with in the house? Like, who were some of your best girlfriends?
Jess.
I was super close with Katie, with Gabby, with Charity, with Jess as well.
Okay, Jess.
So those were like my really point people, but I got so close to like honestly everyone. So like Kat, Kylie, Mercedes. I'm literally listing everyone now, but I got so close to, and Allie as well. I got so close to so many women in different ways. So I feel like a lot of women stepped in when I was feeling a certain way. Like all the different personality types really helped me get through moments that I couldn't have gotten through on my own. So
now, as we know, and again, there are no spoilers here because we don't know who the next Bachelorette is going to be, but Ariel, some are saying, is getting the Bachelorette edit after she got the last one-on-one date with Zach. They're saying she's getting the edit, and we'll have to see. I mean, would you guys like to see Ariel as the Bachelorette? If she, of course, she doesn't make it to the end here with Zach.
Like when you found out that you were not only going to be doing a sauna, but it was the nude sauna.
The funniest thing is that before, I was very nervous to go into the show. I really debated if I was going to do it or not. And my parents had like a family meeting. They sat me down on whether I was going to do it or not. And my dad gave this speech and he was like, "You cannot do the show. There will be naked people. They will force you to kiss naked people. It was not I saw the show. It is not appropriate." I swear he watched Game of Thrones. And straight
thought you were going into Game of Thrones, not The Bachelor.
Really, I don't know what show he watched. I'm like, this is on ABC. I don't know what he's talking about. But he was like, they will take you into rooms and there will be naked people everywhere. I'm doing like a Gru accent, so I'm done with that now. But so he gives a speech. So I was thinking about that. The weirdest thing is that I thought about my father when the nudists were announced, because he warned me. He told me that there would be naked people on the show, and I was like, "You're crazy! What are you talking about? I'm going to do the show regardless." Yeah. So the fact that my dad was in my head when I saw two naked people is very weird for me, and I still think about it today. My dad really got in my head because I remember just laughing at him for an hour, being like, "What are you talking about? They're never. I'm only going to be in a bathing suit at most. Like, what are you talking about?" And then when the nudist came in with like a bell, I was like, "Oh,
when mom and dad came in, that was the best."
Can you come in?
And they were following you. Like, it wasn't just at the beginning, but like later on when you were sitting having this nice private moment in this tiny ass sauna, they just come in. They seemed very sweet though. I will say, like, it was. like mom and dad were there. Obviously weird with the nude, but like
All right, so very nice conversation there as Ariel shares her dad's warning. He was like, "There's gonna be naked people." She said, "No way," and of course, sure enough, she gets the naked episode. But Ariel, she's a finalist. Her, Charity, Gabby, Katie. These are the finalists from this season that could be the next Bachelorette. It could also be Susie. To bring it back to Clayton. Clayton, he's moving on. Rachel got the attempt to be the Bachelorette with Gabby. Of course, it didn't end well for either of them. But Susie could get it. Now, Susie, of course, has released a calendar which shows that she's going to be working a few different weddings at the same time that the Bachelor would be filming. But of course, you get the call to be on the Bachelorette. You can get some replacements. They can fly in right there. All right, so there's the update of who's who and what's going on with Clayton and Rachel Recchia, and now the new crop of hopefuls, Ariel and all of them. All right, let me know what you guys think. I've got 2 other pieces of content up today, which you probably already saw, and I've got my interview with Chad from Game of Roses. You can go check that out wherever you listen to podcasts or on YouTube. But if you want on the podcast app, make sure to rate it, follow it, like it, and all that jazz. I'm going to go get some much needed sleep because it's Thursday morning for you guys, but it's Thursday evening for me. I'm 16 hours ahead of you guys in Bali. So I'm going to call it quits tonight. That way, maybe tomorrow my lazy eye will go back to attention. You ever get tired and one eye just quits before the other? They're like twins, but there's always that one twin who's a slacker. It's this eye. This is the slacker twin. All right, folks. Anyway, we'll be back with more content. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to you later.